Welcome back, Lior, Eddie, Lucci, and Ben. Today, we're talking about transformation. Now, we've heard that word a lot in different contexts. So we've heard of digital transformation and agile transformation, and there's culture transformation, and everything is transforming really quickly, and we're trying to all catch up. And so today, we're going to talk about what does transformation mean as it exists today? Where are we going with it? And I'm going to toss it over to Ben to clarify certain terms because I honestly don't know what's a digital transformation like. So let's talk about it, and then we're going to talk about the future of all of the transformations, maybe. So Ben, take it away.
Thanks, Alana. And I'll preface this with kind of my understanding of. So this is my understanding of digital and agile transformation. So digital transformation is more of a transformation of the business and an alignment of the offerings of that business. So I might have offered bricks and mortar banking, and now I'm offering an app banking. That digital transformation can occur with or without an agile transformation. We can still develop software in a different way and still deliver an app. Whereas an agile transformation is a transformation about how we write software. So we could not go through a digital transformation and still use agile, and we could go through a digital transformation and still not use agile. So they're mutually exclusive. Digital transformation is about changing your business model to offer more modern products to the customers. And agile transformation is about changing your software development or product development process to deliver more efficiently and more responsively. I think this came about then is like, okay, so if a digital thing is about realigning your business and an agile thing is about realigning tech, what are we, when we're talking about respect for the individual and health of the individual, when we're talking about kind of a holonic structure and making sure that every level is healthy, what are we codifying? Because I think these terms are pretty well codified. Like people know, they use it interchangeably. Agile transformation, agile transformation, agile transformation. Everyone kind of knows what that means. And a digital transformation, people know the same. So what kind of transformation are we talking about? Is there a next level transformation which isn't an agile transformation because that's very tech focused, it's very writing software focused? What's the next cultural transformation? I don't know.
Ben, I was listening to you just to check something. Is it possible that then agile transformation can be located in the lower right quadrant and the digital on the upper right quadrant? So we are looking at the right-hand side of the quadrants or the dimensions, because I'm going to pause. Is that correct? My understanding was correct?
I hadn't overlaid that view, but it seems reasonable to me. I don't know whether anyone else has an opinion.
Because while listening to you, I was thinking that for me, the next level of transformation of an organization is like integrating the other two quadrants, no? The left-hand side, what we don't see, and that's the core of this new transformation, I think, because it's working with individuals, what their motivations, their beliefs, their purposes, working with leaders as well, know about that, and also working on the culture and transforming culture, but at the same time, looking at the other quadrants. Like for me, the next level transformation is always looking at the four quadrants and working simultaneously in the four dimensions. If you only work on one quadrant, then I think in the long run, it's not gonna change.
Yeah.
It's not going to move. You need to work on what's not seen.
It makes a lot of sense. Go on, Leah.
I think that's fair. I think it's, if we're being a little bit fast and loose with things, I'm all good there. I think it could be reductive to say digital transformation exists here and agile transformation, because clearly agile talks about team health and things that are on the lower left of the quadrants. But I think what we're getting at is, if we were to say where the emphasis was on those types of transformations, digital transformation is upper right focused with regards to, you were doing things in this way, your output was this way, and now the output is something else. And agile transformation is very process oriented, like we were doing things in waterfall, we're shifting to the agile process. So agreed. So the question is, what would we call something that integrated everything?
Well, I mean, I know where you're going with that, Leo, but then let me ask kind of, these terms are kind of umbrellas for activity that's always happened, right? So Agile just formalized a bunch of stuff that other people were doing. So rather than trying to like formalize or come up with a name, because I know everyone loves a badge or a framework or whatever. So rather than coming up with a catchy name, like do we have examples of transformations that have focused on the left two quadrants? Like, do we have any experience of that, or have you read any articles or information that says, okay, these companies are focusing on the left hand side and they're doing some interesting stuff?
Wasn't this the whole thing of the Google Workspace revolution back in the day with pool tables and also offering accommodations so people feel more like Google is a family and we're all friends here? I feel like that came kind of almost before the Agile wave. And then also we've seen recently that the massive popularity of reinventing organizations from Lalou, which also talked around those lines. So I do think those things exist. I think I can name some. I don't have case studies up in front of me, but I think there's more than enough of them. I think what we are really missing, like Lior said, was I can find transformations that are driven out of each quadrant. I'm saying driven out of because they obviously touch on the rest. I can't find one that equally respects all four, right? The question I have for Lior is, you have the integral agile approach. We have the integral agile approach. If I implement the IA approach, am I getting a transformation? First and foremost, we might not be transforming anything. Maybe we're reinventing something, who knows? Am I getting a transformation? If I am getting a transformation, what kind am I getting?
Yeah, and we are seeing a popularity spike in things that are purely left side. There has been an emergence of improv as a part of team building. So there are folks that'll actually go into a company and teach leaders. They'll go to an offsite and they'll do all of this improv work with the intention of like creating bonding and creating relationships. There's people doing pure left side cultural work. I know Integralis does a lot of these things too. So I want to hear what Luci's up to in that regard. But these things are starting to become a little bit more mainstream.
Yes, we work with culture. We work with the culture of the organizations, and we run culture diagnostics. We understand the culture that they have, and we work with the leadership team, first of all, to align culture and business strategy. If they are not aligned, then the transformation is very hard to happen. And at the same time, we work with the individuals doing coaching sessions, and we go like in depth. It's not just, okay, let's talk about how are you achieving your results, but it's also about reflecting on questions that are more high level, like what is my purpose here? And maybe there are a few clients that maybe they discover that their place was no longer to be there in that company. And those are like important decisions in the lives of the people. So yes, there are many companies that are investing time and resources on working on that hand side, that it's from the inner part of the individual and the inner part of the culture and the teams. And then together with the other right-hand side of the quadrants, then there's like a more balance, and there's more a systemic point of view of the transformation. But yes, there are many companies that work there and investing time there.
This is a fascinating topic, and I have a feeling we will continue this conversation in more videos in the future, because there's a lot to tackle here, a lot going on in terms of transformations and tech in general. And I think it sounds like we are moving towards a more integrated approach. And as Lior was getting at earlier, you might be surprised you are watching the Integral Agile YouTube show. So this is a lot of what we think about and talk about. And so Luci, thank you for so beautifully explaining that. And for everyone else for giving your input. Really curious how you all think that are watching this. Where do you think we're going with transformations? What do you think the next iteration of a transformation is? We've all seen a lot of things happen in not just the last 10 years, but the last 2-3 years. So really curious of what you all think. We'd love to chat with you. So reach out to us and please subscribe to our channel. We have more videos for you to watch. We will see you next time.